You want to remind yourself at all times, like everywhere you turn, it should be a reminder that you are this new version of yourself. Like you are this. You are not that old, shitty version of yourself that's like a victim. Like you are not that person anymore. Okay. Today's video is on scripting and repetition, and it's basically a part 3, sort of like a part 3 on my my mini series of Change Your Life. I did touch on scripting and repetition in the first 2. You guys can check those out. This one is going to be specifically on how to script and why repetition is so important. So if you want to be successful, we all know it's like a long journey of failing your way to the top. I did mention this in my last videos as well. I'm going to get comfy and cozy, and I suggest you guys getting comfy and cozy too. So if you don't live under a rock and you are in the self-development community, you have definitely heard of everyone talking about scripting. It is easy to learn. Do it, practice it. Repetition is key. We're going to be touching on repetition in this video and how to script and why they are going to change your life. The first book I really read to get into this whole self-development era, which is just going on forever and it's going to just keep going on, so it's not even an era, it's just a lifestyle, is How to Win Friends and Influence People. And I read that book at I think it was around 13 or 14 years old, and it could have even been younger, but I do know that this was my first book into nonfiction, because other books it was just kind of like what you read in school. And so reading that book early on, it's not like it changed my life, but it opened my eyes subliminally. So throughout my life after that book and after the other nonfiction books I've read, you start to become aware of things, and then that kind of confirms the stuff that you read before. So although you might read a book and you don't reread it, I'm going to obviously go back to that book. My plan for the future is to reread a lot of the books I've read. I'm a huge reader, so rereading is a huge concept. We're going to talk about repetition as well. Just reading something once, the words were all on the pages. Your mind saw all those words, so even if that didn't all register, you still have those ideas planted in your head. And you come across things in life, and then things start piecing together later. So you have all the puzzle pieces when you read all these books, and then as your experiences in life put the puzzle pieces together. Those are the glue, is when you actually do things in real life and experience things. And yeah, and this is why repetition is key. So when you read something, you're gonna think about those through your day, and you're gonna start to do those actions. Then you might be watching a YouTube video that's also on self-development. You're scrolling on Instagram, you're scrolling on TikTok, whatever you're scrolling on. Make your feed, your For You page, your whatever it may be, make your feed motivational. Make your feed self-development. What is going to be benefiting you spiritually, health, nutritionally wise, wellness, whatever it may be. Whatever is getting you to your higher self and making you be better. Make that your feed. So every time that you see something that's going to be negative, or not even negative, but let's say you don't care about video games, and you see the new PS5, new PS6, whatever, you see an ad on some type of video game or console or something, you can just press not interested, and you can see less of that content. Or whatever it may be, for males it's women, this is distraction on the Instagram models. You can just press not interested. You don't have to see that on your feed, and that's just bringing you back. So the more repetition you have and the more reminders you have in your life, the better. Even when you have a poster in your room or a quote on your wallpaper, vision board, this is all going back to vision boards and things in your surroundings. This also goes for your workspace, your bedroom, your bathroom, your kitchen. What does it look like? Is it cluttery? Is it constantly reminding you that you're of your higher self? What I'm trying to say is that repetition is not just you just keep rereading the same book over and over and over again. That may be repetition for you, but repetition can be so multifaceted, in all areas of your life. How I just said with your surroundings and the things you're consuming on a daily basis. You even go for the shows you're watching, the movies you're watching. Do you feel good after you watch that, or do you feel bad? Do you feel icky inside and just not good? You want to remind yourself at all times, everywhere you turn, it should be a reminder that you are this new version of yourself. Like, you are this. You are not that old, shitty version of yourself that's like victim. Like, you are not that person anymore. This is where scripting comes in. Number one, get a piece of paper out, a journal, whatever you want to do. You can even type this, but it is better to write this down. Like, I'm not going to say you cannot type this. That's why I'm like saying you can also type this, but it is like recommended. You have to kind of write this out. Like, you have to be the one writing it. That's what makes it stick the most. Write your ideal day, top to bottom, like the full routine. You can be like the time, like 6 a.m., wake up, 6:30, whatever. Like, whatever you want to do, you can set the time at whatever time you want. Just your ideal day. Like, what does your ideal day look like? And like I've mentioned in other videos, this is all customizable. Like, it's to your life. Like, there is no right way to life. This is your life. So what do you want it to be? Like, what is your ideal day? Write it down. Like, get clear on it. Script that perfect day, exactly how you'd like it. Next, script a new chapter of your life. So put chapter 1, and then just say, like, be the narrator. So you're narrating yourself in like third person. You're talking about yourself. So like, my name's Karina. So I'm going to write down like, Karina woke up and was no longer a victim. Karina woke up and did her workout routine. Karina cured her anxiety, depression, whatever you want it to be. You write that out, and that becomes your new reality. Like, a whole chapter about you. Like, what does your new life look like? Sasha let go of what was holding her back. Sasha forgave everyone in her life that did her wrong, that left her stranded. Whatever you want it to be, write a huge novel, like a couple paragraphs about a new chapter in your life. Another way of scripting is just writing out like affirmations. I am safe. I am feminine. I am whatever you want it to write. Like, you just make a list of everything that you want to write out, like new affirmations for yourself, and that is your way of scripting. And then you're rereading that every single day. So, and this also goes for relationships as well. Like, you can make a relationship one where, whether it be with a family member, like sometimes people have problems with their parents, so you can write down, well, not always, like most of the time we have problems with our parents. You can just write down an entire page on what your new relationship with your parent looks like, or your parents, or your sibling, or your significant other, or your husband, wife, your children. Like, write it out like exactly how you want it to be. Like, me and so got along so well. We laugh all the time. Our relationship is full of trust and joy and compassion and forgiveness. It's all up to you how you want to write it, and just keep on rereading it. So that's the thing. Once you write it out, you're going to reread it every day. So open that notebook, open that paper, wherever you want to store it. Like, if you're scared anyone's going to read it, you can take a picture of it, and you can like reread it on your phone, like when you're on the toilet. Like, you can just make it like a routine every day. Like, every time you wake up in the morning, you reread it, and every time you go to bed at night, you reread it. Every time you're on the toilet, you can reread it, because some people have different situations. Like, some people wake up beside the person, so they don't want to like reread it in front of them, or whatever your situation may be. Like, find a ritual to do every day, like when you're gonna like reread it and recite it in a way. Okay, I want to touch back on the book I read, the How to Win Friends and Influence People, way back in the day. Right around this time when I was reading this book, I was also watching like Earl Nightingale videos on YouTube. If anyone knows who Earl Nightingale is, he's kind of like the gateway into this whole level up, like self-development, motivational, manifestation, spiritual community. And watching his videos and hearing him talk, like I said, it didn't all stick that day that I read it. It's about repetition and like re-watching videos. Like, a lot of people also repeat themselves. So like, when you watch an Earl Nightingale video, or you watch a Bob Proctor video, usually their next video is also overlapping themes and topics and sentences. So like, you're going to get that same message over and over again. So it's about consuming the content over and over again. It's not just about consuming the content and then like finishing a book, never reading again, thinking like you're fixed. Oh, I get the idea. And then you just never watch the video again. It's about like reminding yourself, repetition, because the seeds that you sow, like the seeds you sowed last year, you're reaping this year. And then the seeds you sow this year, you're reaping next year. So it's always about constant work and repetition. Even more so for people that have trouble changing and that want more help changing. Repetition, again, is key. It might not stick today, but it will stick one day. Like one day it will stick. Like one day you'll be watching a video, and this happens to me all the time. I'm watching someone and then like I'm in the car, I'm just driving to work, and I'm listening to an audio. And this same message they're talking about all the time, and I've heard it from different people. Like maybe I've heard it from multiple different speakers. And just one day it just sticks. Like one day it just makes sense. And you kind of just sit there and you're like, wow, like this is what they've been trying to tell me from day one. And it's like, now it finally stuck. It's just like whenever you're ready to hear it. Like everyone is different. What I'm trying to stress is that one day it's just going to stick, and different concepts will stick at different times. Like that's why you have to just keep on going with it. Don't stop motivating yourself. Like you need to always go back to your why again. Why do you want to become this person? Why do you want to make these changes? And then continue going. Like, this is also why people go to like therapists and health coaches. If anyone didn't know, I'm a health coach. So this is what I do with clients. So you can reach out to me on my social medias. And I do have a free first session. So our first session together would be free. And it's just a consultation, and we just do like a background history. And then I just let you know what I can do for you. And I guide you. So if you guys are interested, you can just reach out to me. But back to the concepts, this is literally why people get these people in their lives, like a coach, a therapist, whatever you may see it. Like a coach is a little bit more hands-on. Therapist is kind of like there to listen, kind of guide you through their own therapy session by asking you more questions and getting in depth. A health coach, in my opinion, is a lot more in depth, and we're really going to make those changes. Instead of like a guru telling you what to do, a health coach is going to guide you. So you know what to do. It's within you. I'm just going to help you find that within you and then be that accountability partner for you. So it really sticks, and like you really do make those changes. And it really does take you to another level, because there's things within yourself that you're not going to realize without sometimes someone telling you and bringing it to the surface for you. Also, guys, when you do watch videos on scripting, people talk about like a lot of specific tips, like have a specific pen, have a specific notebook just for scripting. Like if you want to get really specific and granular about scripting, you can definitely do those tips. Like just have a specific pen, just have a specific notebook, a specific day that you script on, or maybe it's just like you script only when you're alone, when you are in your room, like like a location as well. You can get as specific as possible and get as like ritual with it as possible. Like make it a ritual. Like every month you make a new script for yourself for that new month. Like what is the new changes you're going to make? How are you going to see them? But remember, you're always writing in first person. Like you're writing as if it's already happening. So you're not writing like I want. Never say like I want, I need. That's the worst things to ever say. And then you don't want to put negatives in there. You want to reduce negatives as much as possible. So negatives being like, I am no longer attached to drugs. Like whatever it may be. Like I just said the word drugs because it's like you're putting the negative word in there. So like you're putting the word that you don't want to be. Like it's just like I am free. It's more like instead of saying like I am no longer tied down. Because the tied down part is a negative word. Negative word. It's not actually like a negative word. It's just the more so like that's just what we call it. So the negative word, we're just not putting it in there. Like we're just putting I am free. And when I said the first scripting parts, I said like I am no longer tied. Like those things are fine to put in there, but you want to just reduce them as much as possible and leave it to just like good concepts, like positive concepts, and write it again, like I said, as if it's already happened, not anything that you want. Like you're not desiring, you're just that. You're not saying, I want a Benz. Oh, I have a Benz. That was a really random example. I don't even want a Benz. I don't know why I said that. But I don't know what car I want. Obviously, if someone gave me one, that's different. But that's not like my like dream car, no. Oh, and one last point that I want to mention before I go is that this can also help your health as well. So you can write a scripting page for your health. Like say you're struggling from a disease or a condition. Let's say it's like chronic inflammation of the gut. A lot of people are struggling with this, so that's why I made this an example. You can say, I healed my gut. I no longer get any inflammation. I have never felt better. when I eat food, it digests easily. Like, you want to get granular with this as well. If it's health related, really get specific. And whatever it may be, like, I do not get bloated. My stomach is always flat. Whatever you want it to be. Like, everything is specific to you. It's your life. Whatever you want it to be, that's what's going to be. And that's what's so fun about this. Like, it's literally your life. Like, you get to have so much fun with this. You get to write whatever you want. You get to be whoever you want. Like, you can just wake up tomorrow morning and be whoever you want. Like, you are what you are now because you decided you are that. You are what you are right now because you did what you did last year. That's literally how it is. So what you do this year is what's going to happen next year. Like, you work now so that you are the person you want to be next year. Like, you put that work in. Like, the seeds you sow today are the seeds you reap next year. Or the plants you reap next year. Whatever it may be. The crops you reap next year. That is what you're going to be getting. What you do now will come in the future. So do the hard work now so that the rest is easy. If you are interested in health coaching with me, you can message me on those platforms in the description, and then we will talk from there. But I will see you guys on another video.